Let's start by saving our part. Day 3. Now let's create a sketch. Front plane. Now let's create a line with L. 95 millimeters. Now let's create a parallel line and a tangent arc. Now let's create another line and convert to constructive using X. Now let's add the tangency relationship, touching the arc and the line. Okay, let's now add a dimension for the radius, 6 millimeters. Now let's add a distance of 80 millimeters. Let's now create a horizontal line with a length of 4 millimeters. Let's now create a vertical line, constructive with X. This line will help us to create a tangency for the spline. So let's create spline, click on this point, next this one, then OK. Now let's select both lines and add a tangency relation. Same for the bottom part. Great. Now we have fully defined our sketch. It's ready for revolution. So let's close the sketch. Let's go to Revolve command. The sketch profile is already selected. So let's select the axis of revolution and then OK. Now let's change the name of our part. Handle. Let's now select this face. Create hole. Let's center it. Hole type would be simple, shaped, full, and flat. Length will be 7. Size will be 4.5 millimeters, and then OK. And our thread is already created. OK. We'll let the helix pattern as a final step, so let's start with the other sketches. Go to Sketch, Front Plane. Let's hide the handle. And let's create a line, construct it with X, with a length of 94.5 millimeters. Let's now create 2 circles with C, one here and one above. The first diameter is 90 millimeters. The distance to the origin is 54.2. The second diameter is 39 millimeters. And a distance to the origin of 82.5 millimeters. Okay. Let's move this a bit. Okay, let's start tracing the razor head sketch. Create a line. In this case will be vertical. And the length will be 3 millimeters. To keep things easy, I will trace first the sketch following the image reference, and at the end I will add the dimensions. Don't worry too much about the lengths. The important thing are the contact points. Okay, here I will add a 3-point arc starting from the center. Okay. Now we'll create a construction line to add a tangency relation between this line and the curve. Tangent. Okay. This radius is about 45 millimeters. This distance is about 7.5 millimeters. Okay. This one is 3.5 millimeters. The angle between these lines is 135 degrees. This distance is 7 millimeters. Now this height will be 1.9 millimeters. And this one, 1 millimeter. Great. Now we have fully defined this sketch. In this case, just for the bottom part of the rasper head. The top part of the head will use the same guides. So let's use this same sketch to create it. Let's start creating a horizontal line of 8 millimeters. Let's add a coincident relation between each point and the curve. Okay, let's now create a vertical line from the bottom circle to the top circle. Let's now mirror this line with the mirror command. Choose the axis of symmetry and then OK. OK. Let's now add a dimension of 20 millimeters. And now we have the bottom part of the head and the top part fully defined. Let's now use the trim command to clean a bit. Let's remove these lines. This one. OK. This one. OK, great. Now we can see the two profiles more clearer. Let's now complete the bottom part with the mirror command. Let's select all these lines, the mirror axis, and then OK. Let's transform this one to a construction line with X and then close the sketch. Okay, you can see here the top and bottom sketch profiles. Now let's extrude. Let's go to the extrude command. Now the distance of extrusion is about 40 millimeters. And let's change to symmetric, whole length, and then OK. Okay, let's now check our reference. The next feature is hole. We will need a circle, 95 millimeters from the origin. So let's go to offset plane, top plane, 95 millimeters, and then OK. Okay, let's now select this plane and create a sketch. Will be a circle with C, and the diameter is 9 millimeters. Okay. Let's now extrude with E, operation cut, and hit OK. We have created this feature. Let's now create the other two operations. Let's select this face create sketch, a circle, 4.6 millimeters. Let's now create a rectangular pattern. Okay, I'll move this one a bit. Okay, let's select the circle, then the axis, 13 millimeters distance, and direction symmetric, and hit OK. Let's close the sketch. Let's now extrude a cut through all. Select all the profiles, operation cut, and OK. Great. Let's now rename this part. Hit top. Now deactivate the part and unhide the sketch 2. Let's extrude or E and select this profile. Then symmetric and 40 millimeters. And hit OK. Now we can hide the sketch. Now let's select this face. Let's now create a circle, 4.5 millimeters. Let's go to create rectangular pattern. Choose a direction, 13 millimeters, symmetric, and then OK. Then close the sketch. Let's extrude the center one. Will be 10 millimeters and hit OK. Let's activate the sketch again. Select both circles and 5 millimeters. OK. Now let's deactivate the sketch and let's verify that everything is OK. Perfect. Let's now add some details. In this case will be a fillet, so let's hide the top part. So let's go to fillet and let's select all the edges that we want to have the same fillet. This will allow us to have a cleaner timeline and don't have an independent operation for each fillet. Okay. These ones too. Finally, this one too. Okay, let's add a value of 0.5 millimeters. Let's hide this one. Let's unhide this one. And select also these faces. These ones. And hit OK. Okay, let's now change the name for this part. Will be head top 2. Okay. Okay, let's isolate the last part and let's add a thread. So create thread, select the face, uncheck full length, change the length to 7 millimeters. Okay, modeled and okay. Now activate all the parts. Okay, seems like everything is correct. Let's go to inspect, section analysis, and select the. Let's use this plane, flip, and okay. Let's zoom a bit, and we can see that everything is okay. Okay, let's now select these components, move, and we will move 0.5 millimeters. That was the offset used for the plane. And if everything is correct, the threads should match perfectly. As you can see, everything is correct. Okay, let's undo this operation. It was just to check that everything was okay. Right click and delete. Okay, let's now create a cut for the head top one. So let's go and select this face. Click, create sketch. Now let's go to create slot, center slot. Then click at the center and drag. Okay. 2 millimeters for this radius and a length of 30 millimeters. Okay. Let's now add a horizontal relation between these 2 points. Horizontal. Okay. And finally, let's add a distance between this line and this line of 0.5 millimeters. Let's now close the sketch. Now let's deactivate this section analysis. Now let's extrude, select the profile sketch, cut, and OK. Let's now add a fillet for this edge. OK. And this edge, 0.5 millimeters, and hit OK. Let's now go to create mirror, features, select the last 2 features. Now for the mirror plane, select this one, optimized, and hit OK. OK. OK, the next step will be create the helix feature. We will need a construction plane, so let's go to offset. Select top plane and 78 millimeters. Select the plane, then go to create coil, isolate the handle, and create a 12 millimeters diameter circle. Okay. The direction will be downwards 40 millimeters. 2 revolutions, triangular section, internal, outside. Operation will be new body and hit OK. Okay. From this new body, we will obtain the helix path. So let's create a sketch in the right plane. Now let's verify that in sketch palette 3D sketch is checked. Create, project include, 3D geometry. Hide the handle and select this edge. Everything seems okay. Okay, let's now create a line. If we keep this view out of the normal plane, Fusion will detect that we are on 3D sketch. So let's start creating our line starting from this point. This line will be created parallel to the original sketch plane. Let's do the same for the other side. Okay, let's go to the top view. You can see that everything is correct. Now let's add a tangent relation from this line with this line, and also for the bottom one. It's not necessary to add dimensions. This is just auxiliary. So let's close the sketch. Okay, let's unhide the handle. Let's now go to create pipe, choose circular for the section, and select this path. Okay, 1 millimeter. Operation cut and hit OK. Let's now hide the auxiliary tool. Now select, right click, remove. Let's now add a fillet with f 0.5 millimeters and hit OK. The next thing will be create a circular pattern. So let's go to pattern, circular pattern, go to features, the last two features. For the axis can be selected a circular edge or an axis. In this case, I will choose an axis, the Z axis. Then we add 10, optimize, and hit OK. Okay, let's now hide all the other parts. And as a final step, I want to show you how to add an SVG logo. Let's now create another auxiliary plane, offset plane, right plane, 7 millimeters, and hit OK. Now let's select the new plane, create sketch, then go to Insert, Insert SVG. Choose your file, scale down and locate your logo, and hit OK. Close the sketch, then go to Create, Emboss, choose your profile sketch, the face for the emboss, and a value of 0.3 millimeters, and hit OK. Finally, let's add a fillet of 0.1 millimeters, and hit OK. And our safety razor is now finished. Thanks for watching.